Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. This is the Film Room Podcast, you know, and I'm so happy to be here, man. I'm so happy to be bringing another season. I was hoping, hold on, let me get my mic right here. You know, I was hoping that this season wouldn't start off like this. We had so many good things that happened in preseason. A lot of things that I thought would leak and kind of spill over into the regular season. But I think we picked up right where we left off from that last preseason game that didn't go as planned at all. And so seeing tonight, there were a lot of things that were upsetting. There were a lot of things that I really liked. And we're going to dive into them all as we embark on this season 2 of the Film Room Podcast. Listen, Laker Nation, it's just going to be one of those years, you know? It's just going to be one of those seasons where we have to be patient. And we have to be willing to kind of see the light in the dark. I feel like there's going to be a lot of growing pains. And a lot of times, you know, I don't think that we will see what we saw, what was on display tonight. With that being said, I want to jump into the box score of tonight's game. It was the Warriors' ring ceremony tonight. I think it was our idea to come in and disrupt and not let them celebrate after the ring ceremony. But of course, once we got on the court, it was trash. You know, but I really don't want to start off with the negative. I want to talk about the positive because I do believe there was a lot of positives in this game. Although throughout the entire game, I was frustrated with how the Lakers were playing. And then the fourth quarter, we started to have some fight and started to have some grit and discipline and movement and energy. And although it came up late, it was still there. That's one thing that I really enjoyed about this game. So first, let's go over the box score. Let's talk about LeBron James. Now, this is his 20th season. 20 seasons in the NBA. This dude has more mileage than a Honda Accord. This dude has more mileage than anybody currently playing in the NBA. Not only has he gone a full 20 seasons, you're talking about seasons where he repeatedly went to the finals. I think more so than any player in this league now. LeBron James played 35 minutes. He was 12 for 25 from the field, that's 48%. And he was 3 for 10 from 3, that's 30%. He had 31 points tonight. Some turnovers, wow, 5 turnovers to be exact, some. A lot of turnovers. He had 8 assists and 14 rebounds. So he got his double-double, almost a triple-double. But a lot of our guys were off. And he was a minus 10 on the night. Now, LeBron James clearly started off with no energy in the game. You could see it. He was passive on offense. He was letting other guys kind of get going, it seemed like. But as far as where he picked up right where he left off. I mean, he was still off. His shot wasn't falling. Nobody's shot was falling, but his in particular typically is falling even when everybody else is off. And so to see him off, you knew it was going to be a long night. And I thought he played well in those 35 minutes. Not the greatest, not good, but I thought he played well. Let's go to Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis ended the game without an injury. At least that's what we know as of now. And Anthony Davis played 35 minutes. He was 10 for 22 from the field. That's 45.5%. And he was he was 0 for 3 from 3. That's 0%. He was 0 for everything from the 3-point line. Anthony Davis had a total of 6 rebounds. He had 3 steals and 1 block. He had 3 turnovers. And he scored 27 points tonight. Now, anybody that's seen Anthony Davis play tonight, definitely a positive. Anthony Davis looked incredible. Although he didn't score like he normally scores, and he was 0 for 3, and his foul shots were kind of off again, he looked good. He looked ready, attacking, aggressive. His footwork was still there. His explosiveness was still there. He was running up and down the court. Anthony Davis looked incredible, I thought. I was really eager to see how he would play and what he would bring. And I thought he did a great job bringing it tonight. Now we go to Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook played 30 minutes. He was 7 for 12 from the field. That's 58.3%. He shot better than Anthony Davis and LeBron James tonight. He was 1 for 3 from 3. He shot better than both LeBron James and Anthony Davis tonight from 3. That was 33.3%. He was 4 for 5 from the line. He had 11 rebounds and 3 assists. He had 1 steal and 4 turnovers. He scored 19 points. Anthony Davis, was a -21, and Russell Westbrook is a -6. Russell Westbrook had a decent game. And you would think, well, you just said he scored 19 points and he shot better than Anthony Davis and LeBron James from the field. He had less turnovers than LeBron James by 1, and 1 more turnover than Anthony Davis. And see, and this is where people get it confused. They go off the stats and say, well, Russell Westbrook scored, averaged 18 points last year and 7 and 7. I heard Reggie Miller say it on the broadcast tonight and said, if you were to ask to get somebody who could score 18 points and do 7 and 7, would you want him on your team? And you would say, yeah. Until you put a name to it. Now, I don't have nothing against Russell Westbrook. And although, yes, he shot better than LeBron James and Anthony Davis, he clearly does not fit with this team. And it's clear as day. His turnovers aren't just regular turnovers. And although his turnovers are at 4, if you were to watch the game, his turnovers look more like 8. And what I mean by that is Russell Westbrook would dribble into 2 defenders and stop or get tied up, make a terrible pass, and it would barely get to another Laker. He stepped out of bounds like he did in the preseason game where he stepped out of bounds twice. And he had an air ball that he shot from the corner 3 that went clearly over the hoop. And everybody does that. Everybody bricks 3s. Everybody steps out of bounds. But when you're getting paid over $40 million and you're a superstar, you barely see that. And it's not that you barely see it, because a lot of superstars do that. right? So you're saying, Derek, then what is it about Russell Westbrook? If you don't have nothing against him and he's doing stuff that all the superstars do, then why do you feel like he needs to go? And it's not because he's playing off or playing bad. It's half and half. It's half because he's a good asset that can really get us somebody good that can shoot the ball well or do something else where we're lacking. So that's the plus part, is that he's a good asset. His name, he's a superstar, he's explosive, he's a show. So that's one of the main reasons why you want to trade him. And the equal reason why you want to trade him is because on the floor, it just looks bad. It looks like stuff that rookies do. It looks like stuff that somebody not making 40 million or more is going to do on the floor. And this is the gripe. This is the seesaw with Russell Westbrook. I'm going to go on. Let's go to my guy, Pat Bev. Pat Bev is officially a Laker. This is his first game, his opener with the Lakers. And Pat Bev looked terrible. Pat Bev got 2 quick fouls that got him out of the game early. And his defense really wasn't there. And he wasn't shooting the ball well either. Let's go to the stats. Pat Bev played 24 minutes. He was 1 for 5 from the field. That's 20%. Actually, he was 1 for 5 from 3. That's 20%. So only thing he did was shoot threes tonight. Or not shoot threes tonight. Or not make threes tonight. He had 2 rebounds. He had 2 assists. He had 4 steals. And Pat Bev had 2 blocks. He had 1 turnover. And he was a -5. He had 3 points. Now, Pat Bev looked terrible in the first, second, and third quarter. But in that fourth quarter, Pat Bev turned it on. You could tell that something clicked in Pat Bev and said, hey, I don't want to lose like this. Or I don't want to lose at all. And he turned it on. And to me, it was his energy that turned around that fourth quarter. To me, it was him hustling, getting in the passing lanes, getting steals, applying pressure, applying a defensive hold on the Warriors. That started to get us back in the game and make it a fight in the fourth. But it was, of course, too little, too late. But I liked it. And although he had a bad game, that fourth quarter gave me hope. That's what I know Pat Bev to be. Pat Bev, ladies and gentlemen, had 4 steals. He was insane on the defense in that third and fourth quarter. Kind of picked it up in the fourth heavy. But in the third quarter, you could start to see it come on a little bit too. Let's go to our other starter, Lonnie Walker IV. Now, I'm real excited about Lonnie Walker IV because I think he can be a really good X factor, similar to how Malik Monk was the X factor last year. But Lonnie Walker also didn't play well tonight. He was silent. He disappeared a lot on offense and defense. Lonnie Walker IV played 29 minutes. He was 2 for 7 from the field. That's 28.6%. He was 0 for 3 from 3. That's 0 for everything. Lonnie Walker IV had 3 rebounds. He had 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. He also had 2 turnovers and was a minus 13. He had 5 points tonight. So Lonnie Walker IV didn't get off like he normally would get off. But credit the Warriors. They are the defending champs. And they played somewhat pretty good defense. Andrew Wiggins played really great defense. But Lonnie Walker IV was off too. So Laker Nation, I just went through our 5 starters on opening night. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Pat Bev, and Lonnie Walker IV. And all 5 were off almost that entire first half, except for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis started off strong, aggressive. His footwork was incredible. His defense was incredible. But it was everybody else in the first half. And then Anthony Davis in the second half kind of shied away, and some others started to pick up. Now let's go to our bench. Austin Reeves, I won't go through the stats, but he played terrible, non-existent, disappeared, similar to Lonnie Walker IV. Kendrick Nunn, same thing, played terrible, disappeared on offense and defense. He wasn't aggressive like he normally is when he runs the point. I was surprised to see how he played tonight. So passive. Juan Toscano Anderson. Now, Juan Toscano Anderson is somewhat of a head scratcher for me. And the reason why I say he's a head scratcher is because I can't figure out why he was a pickup. Why was Juan Toscano Anderson a pickup? If you know, leave your comments below. Because I'm still trying to figure out why he's there. Seems like he can't shoot the 3 ball. Seems like he can't play defense. And seems like he's just a body out there. He played 14 minutes. He was 0 for 3 from the field. That's 0%. He didn't get fouled. He had 4 rebounds, 2 turnovers, and 0 points. He was 0 for everything tonight. And that's similar to how he played all preseason. Somebody explain to me why Juan Toscano Anderson is a Laker. He looked pitiful out there. Juan Toscano Anderson, I feel like, is a good dude. And that's why I like to see him on the Lakers. But if you are employed by the Lakers front office and you happen to come across this video, send Juan Toscano Anderson the home, okay? Wayne and Gabriel. Let's talk about Wayne and Gabriel for a minute. Wayne and Gabriel was getting dogged tonight. But the thing about Wayne and Gabriel is he does not stop. He does not care. He will still put up a fight regardless if he is underpowered, smaller, slower. His energy and effort shows every time he is on the court. He is all over the place. Wayne and Gabriel only played less than 8 minutes. He was 0 for 1 from the field. He was 0 for 2 from the free throw line. He had 1 rebound and 1 assist. Wayne and Gabriel was 0 for everything tonight. Juan Toscano played 14 minutes and Wayne Gabriel played 8. And both of them were 0 for everything tonight. This cannot happen. This cannot happen. Matt Ryan. Now, I was really high on Matt Ryan. I seen a preseason game where he got hot and he got hot. I mean, he was scorching hot. Matt Ryan was just doing cardio tonight. Matt Ryan was 1 for 4 from the field. That's 25%. He was 1 for 3 from 3. That's 33.3%. He had 3 points. Matt Ryan also looks like he doesn't belong in a lineup yet, in an NBA lineup. Okay, he can shoot the ball, but he had plenty of attempts and some pretty good looks, and he couldn't get the ball off. He couldn't get going. And then the rest is garbage time, or what they call garbage time. Damian Jones didn't play. That was coach's decision. And then Dennis Schroeder was out with an injury. Troy Brown Jr., who we have yet to see, is out with an injury. And Thomas Bryant is out with an injury. So we were a little undermanned, but it wasn't even that. The bright spots of what I seen tonight was the fight, was the not giving up, was the not letting the score defeat you. Although we were down, it seemed like by 57 points tonight, the Lakers just kept chipping away. They kept chipping away. We would go down by 5. Then we would go down by 10. We would bring it back and get it to 5. Then we would go down by 13. Then we would go down to 17. Then we would get it back to 10. And it was like that throughout the night. And although the Warriors didn't play well either, I mean, Steph Curry had a terrible first half as well. But in the second half, he picked up. And that fourth quarter was some great basketball. So the question, and there's a lot of questions, is this what we have to look forward to throughout the season? And my answer, I will tell you, is no. LeBron James won't be that off again. Anthony Davis played all right, so I'll just leave him be. Russell Westbrook played like Russell Westbrook. He's going to play that way. That won't change. Patrick Beverly was off tonight. I don't imagine him being that off. Lonnie Walker IV wasn't aggressive and was off. I don't imagine him playing the same way. Austin Reeves was non-existent. Don't imagine him playing that way either. And Kendrick Nunn was a little bit of the same. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that this season will be that bad. Although, yes, anytime the Lakers lose, especially when we had this, I mean, the Warriors did everything for us to win, and we just didn't take advantage. There was no defense. There was no push. There was no aggressiveness on the defense. Although everybody on the Warriors seemed to shoot the 3 ball well, we wanted to give them all the space in the world. And although the refs didn't help, the refs are going to be terrible and let the Warriors get away with moving screens on every possession. They're going to let the Warriors get away with fouling LeBron James multiple times and nothing being called. But that's understandable. You expect that. But what you don't expect is for a newly created team with a new coach, new leadership, to play the same way they looked last year. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, or Russell Westbrook have to stand up and say, this will not be our culture. This will not be how we are remembered, because it looks bad. Not that they played bad. It's the energy. It's the effort. Where is the fight? Where is the sense of urgency? This is what you can't continually do when you're on the floor. LeBron James can. For one, he's earned the right, and for two, he's in his 20th season with more miles than a Honda Civic. Everyone else needs to do something more. And I thought Anthony Davis did that tonight. Russell Westbrook did not. The pieces that we're missing. Troy Brown Jr. is a 3-and-D guy. Dennis Schroeder, some would label him as a 3-and-D guy. I would kind of label him as a 3-and-D guy. His defense is crazy. He can defend the ball well, and he can knock down some threes. So we're missing two great guys that I think would have really helped with Andrew Wiggins and a Klay Thompson, or the switches that they had. And my pops alluded to it all night. He said we just weren't matched up well. This seemed like the same offense as what Vogel had on the floor all last year. So where are the plays? Where is the development? Where is what Darvin Ham is going to implement this season that's going to be different from what we seen last season? And I did not see that tonight. So if I am going to blame anybody for this loss, it is going to be one, Mr. Darvin Ham. And I regrettably say that because I am so anxious and excited to see what he's going to bring. But this wasn't it, Mr. Ham. This was not it. This was the same Lakers with different players, younger players, but the same energy and effort as last season. Now in the fourth quarter, completely different game. If you were to tell me, hey, they didn't execute the game in the first three quarters, but in the fourth quarter, this is how I want them playing basketball, then I would say yes. I did see a difference, a clear night and day difference between the first three quarters and the fourth quarter. And if they started to execute your game plan in the fourth quarter, then we might be on to something. We should have been better prepared. And I just thought that the game plan wasn't there. It was the same. Feed Anthony Davis on a low block, on a low post. Feed LeBron James when Anthony Davis was out on the low post, on the low block, and it was just ISO ball. It was no moving the ball side to side. It was little to no movement all night. Everybody standing behind the three-point line like they can knock down a damn three, and they couldn't hit the rim for nothing tonight. It's hard to digest when this is the start of your season. Now, everybody, I would imagine, certain age, would understand that first impressions are everything. And this, Lakers, was your first impression The Warriors were doing everything to give you this game. They were not engaged in the first half, it seemed like, at all. But the Warriors did everything to just hang in there. We could have punched them in the mouth coming out in that first quarter. But the energy and the plays and the standing around, it was just pathetic. But to talk about the bright spots, I loved how Patrick Beverley said enough is enough. I'm going to do me. And that's one thing that you have got to understand about Patrick Beverley and his mentality and what he brings to this team. Patrick Beverley does not care if you don't play defense. He is still going to be a dog on defense. Anthony Davis the same way. I mean, of course they care. But meaning, if you're not playing defense, it's not going to affect them in their mentality and say, well, if they ain't playing defense, I ain't going to play none either. Anthony Davis and Pat Bev are wired different at that end of the floor. And that's something to look forward to. So, there are some things to discuss. And I briefly talked about it earlier. And everyone knows exactly what the Lakers need. My question is, why doesn't Rob Pelinka, why doesn't Darvin Ham, and why doesn't Jeannie Buss in the Lakers front office? There are clearly no shooters on this team. And all of these young guys are just young guys. Scottie Pippen Jr., Cole Swider, Matt Ryan, and the list goes on and on and on. We need some shooters. We need some guys that's going to step in and knock down some shots. Now, I really like Harrison. This Harrison kid can play defense on just about anybody. He is a pest. He is Pat Bev on steroids on the defensive end. This kid, to me, needs some serious playing time. Now, he can't shoot the ball for but his defense is on point. It is OP. But will he see the court? Probably not that much. And it's such a shame because at times we are really going to need his shutdown defense. But we need some three-point shooters. Somebody who can come in and knock the ball down fresh off the bench. That's all they do. We need somebody like that can fly off screens and knock down some three balls. Because without that, it's going to be another very dry, very long season. So Laker Nation, let me know what you thought of the season opener in the comments. Like, subscribe, and get ready to strap in for what seems like it's going to be a very long, very hard season. Laker Nation, the word for this season is going to be patience. And I'm out this bit.